The electric current in a closed circuit always flows from the dash terminal of the electric cell to the dash terminal. Solid response. Positive to negative is a valid choice. A material which does not allow the electricity to pass through it is dash. Clear logic. Your choice insulator is sound and 100% true. Raj has to go to an office trip, however he has two furnaces. First one does not have a secondary cell and the second one has a secondary cell. Which phone should he take? Correct response. Phone 1 is the most accurate answer. The student arrived home and turned on a light switch so she could see how to get to her bedroom. The switch allowed electricity to flow and was transformed into. Well reasoned. Light energy is the correct choice. The measure of potential energy stored in a battery is called dash. Correct. Voltage is the right answer. A device that is used to break an electric circuit is called dash. Shh. Perfect. Switch is the correct choice. A combination of two or more electric cells is called dash. Good thinking. Battery is the right answer. In the above diagram, Bouchot says that the bulb will glow. You're right. False is the correct answer. Cut the wire in the space shown. How many bulbs stay lit? Well done. Zoe is the right choice. Which of the following is not an example of primary cell? Exactly. Lid accumulators make sense and it is right choice. For electrical energy to flow, there must be a dash. Great thinking. Closed circuit is the right choice. An electric cell has dash terminals and dash filament. Nice selection. 2, 1 is the correct and valid answer. Dash is the positive terminal of an electrical cell. You got it? Your choice metal cap is right. A path along which electricity can flow is a dash. Nice work. You chose circuit and it is correct. The minus sign on a battery shows which terminal? Good job. Your answer negative works well here. Batteries and power plants are examples of dash. Excellent. Energy sources is a brilliant choice. Why do electricians wear gloves made of rubber? Great job. It is an insulator is the accurate answer. Electric current moves in only one direction. On track. False is the correct answer. Would the bulb glow in the given circuit? You chose no, and it is correct. It is not advisable to join the two terminals of the electric cell without connecting them through a switch and a device, like a bulb. Right choice. True is the best answer. Which non-metal conducts electricity? Smart pick. Graphite is the correct choice. Solar cells convert solar energy too. Right again. Electrical energy is a valid answer. What is the name of this device? Sharp thinking. Resistor is the right choice. Button cells are used in devices. Well picked. All of the above is the correct answer. This is the symbol for a dash. Valid point. Switch is true. The filament is made up of. Excellent choice. Tungsten is the right answer. The electric current in a closed circuit always flows from the dash terminal of the electric cell to the dash terminal. Nicely done. Positive to negative is a solid answer. The electrician in this picture is wearing rubber gloves for protection. The purpose of the rubber gloves is to dash. Bravo! Protect the electrician is the answer. A cell, a conducting wire, and a bulb are used for constructing a simple electric circuit. What are they called? Strong choice. Components is the right answer. To replace a copper strip in a circuit, which among the following should we use to complete the circuit? Smart move. Silver is an accurate answer. How many types of power plant are there which are used for generating electricity on a large scale? Wow. Smart pick. 3 is the correct choice. Fill in the black materials which allow electric current to pass through them are of electricity. Nice selection. Conductors is the correct and valid answer. Which of the following is used to prevent too much electricity from flowing through a circuit? Nicely done. Fuse is a solid answer. If we touch a live wire carrying current, we get a shock. This is because our body is an. You're right. Conductor of electricity is the correct answer. Name the simple device that is used to either break the electric circuit or to complete it. Smart move. Switch is an accurate answer. Which type of circuit would you use in order to turn each component on and off separately? Right choice. Parallel is the best answer. Which of the following could not be used to speed up the flow of electricity in a circuit? Well done. Fuse is the right choice. Which is an example of an insulator, Bakelite, aluminium, tap water, all of these? Excellent choice. Bakelite is the right answer. Which of these will generate electric current when kept in sunlight but not in the dark? Beak. Great job. Solar cell is the accurate answer. What are the two places on the battery to which the wires can be attached called? On track. Terminals is the correct answer. The electric cell which we use in alarm clocks, torches at sea, is called a dashans. Strong choice. Dry cell is the right answer. Which of the following appliances does not operate on an electric cell battery? Sharp thinking. Air conditioner is the right choice. What are the materials that do not allow electric to pass through them called? Excellent. Insulators is a brilliant choice. In a dash circuit, the components are arranged with one path for the current. Correct response. Series is the most accurate answer. And dash is a simple device that is used to open or close an electric circuit. Good thinking. Electric switch is the right answer. Sometimes when there is a power cut, we use dash generators to generate dash. Solid response. Smaller electricity is a valid choice. Dash is an electric device which easily closes or opens an electric circuit. Correct. Electric switch is the right answer. Which of these cells does not convert chemical energy to electrical energy? Nice work! You chose solar cell, and it is correct. The materials that allow electricity to pass through them are known as dash. Valid point. Conductors is true. In a dash circuit, each component has its own path for the current to flow. Great thinking. Parallel is the right choice. A material which does not allow the electricity to pass through it is dash. Bravo, insulator is the answer. What material has some properties which are also present in electricity? Clear logic. Your choice magnets is sound and 100% true. To prevent electric shocks, the metallic electrical wires are covered with... You got it? Your choice plastic is right. Protons and neutrons form the central part of the atom, called the dash. Well picked. Nucleus is the correct answer. Electric current flows from dash terminal to dash terminal in a cell. Exactly. Positive, negative makes sense, and it is right choice. The filament is made up of dash. That is supported by dash thick wires. Good job. Your answer, tungsten, too works well here. An electric cell produces electricity from the dash, stored inside it. Right again. Chemicals is a valid answer. And dash is a material that electricity cannot pass through easily. You chose insulator, and it is correct. Instead of metal wires, a jute string can be used to make a circuit. Well reasoned. False is the correct choice. Materials which do not allow current to pass through them are called... Perfect. Insulators is the correct choice. Fill in the blank. The bulb glows only when flows through the circuit. Great job. Current is the accurate answer. The plastic coating of the wires are good conductors of electricity. Smart move. False is an accurate answer. The measure of potential energy stored in a battery is called dash. Clear logic. Your choice voltage is sound and 100% true. Which among the following metal is used for making electric wires? Good thinking. Copper is the right answer. Which material is used for making the filaments of electric bulbs? Nicely done. Tungsten is a solid answer. The tiny coiled metal wire present inside the bulb is called dash. Well done. Filament is the right choice. A substance which allows electricity to pass through it is called... You're right. Conductor is the correct answer. The filament of an electric bulb is a thin line made up of dash. You got it. Your choice, tungsten, is right. Which part of the torch glow when current is passed through it? Great thinking. Filament is the right choice. The positive terminal of the electric cell is connected to dash. Right choice. A carbon rod is the best answer. The colored plastic covering on an electric wire makes it dash. Excellent choice. Safe to touch is the right answer. Two or more cells connected end to end together forms a dash. Correct response. Battery is the most accurate answer. Name the cells in human body which look like electric wires. Exactly. Neurons make sense, and it is right choice. A device that is used to break an electric circuit is called. Good job. Your answer switch works well here. The electricity we get in our houses is generated from dash. Perfect. Power station is the correct choice. Which of the following could be used to complete a circuit? Correct. Penny is the right answer. Which of the following allows current to pass through them? Sharp thinking. Copper is the right choice. The device used to open and close circuits is called a dash. Nice selection. Switch is the correct and valid answer. Which year did the first torchlight operate on dry cells? Excellent. 1898 is a brilliant choice. A combination of two or more electric cells is called dash. Smart pick. Battery is the correct choice. Electric energy is produced from the dash within the cell. Well-reasoned. Chemicals is the correct choice. The first dry cell was made by G. Leclanche in which year? Valid point. 1868 is true. The carbon rod in the cell is surrounded by dash and dash. You chose manganese dioxide and charcoal, and it is correct. Dash is also used to run street lamps and traffic lights. Right again. Solar cell is a valid answer. Handles of electrical appliance are made up of insulators. Bravo. True is the answer. The closed path in which the current flows is called an. Well picked. Circuit is the correct answer. Which of these substances conducts electricity the best? Strong choice. Copper is the right answer. What is the direction of current in an electric circuit? Solid response. Positive to negative is a valid choice. A thin wire that emits light in a bulb is known as dash. On track. Filament is the correct answer. Switch is also referred as dash in an electric circuit. Nice work. You chose key and it is correct. What are the two terminals of an electric cell called? Well picked. Positive terminal, negative terminal is the correct answer. For electrical energy to flow, there must be a dash. Nicely done. Closed circuit is a solid answer. The first ever torchlight was operated by dash cells. Smart pick. Dry cells is the correct choice. Which of the following equipment uses electric cells? Great thinking. Remotes is the right choice. Electricity is the flow of charge due to dash energy. Clear logic. Your choice electrical is sound and 100% true. The bulb glows only when the dash passes through it. Correct response. Electricity is the most accurate answer. What is the source of electricity in the satellites? Nice work. You chose solar cells and it is correct. Dash is a device that generates an electric current. On track. Electric cell is the correct answer. Dash is the positive terminal of an electrical cell. Great job. Metal cap is the accurate answer. Which of the following does not conduct electricity?
You got it. Your choice ceramic articles is right.
What is the device used to measure electric current?
Bravo. Ammeter is the answer.
Rubber and wood are good conductors of electricity.
Well done. False is the right choice.
The positive terminal of the electric cell is the...
Perfect. Metal cap is the correct choice. Tube lights are preferred to bulbs mainly because...
Good thinking. Bulbs produce shadows is the right answer. Electricity flows from which side of the battery?
Sharp thinking. Negative is the right choice.
A cell consists of an outer covering made of dash.
Right choice. Zinc is the best answer.
Which of these appliances not run on electricity? Smart move. Cooker is an accurate answer. Name the subatomic atom which provides electricity. Excellent. Electron is a brilliant choice. An electric current flows only in dash circuits. Right again. Closed is a valid answer. The bulb glows only when there is a flow of dash. Correct. Electricity is the right answer. How many cells are there in a car battery inside? Valid point 6 is true. When the filament of a bulb is broken, the bulb. Strong choice. Doesn't glow is the right answer. Which of these is an advantage of electric cell?
Nice selection. Portable is the correct and valid answer.
What supplies the energy in an electric circuit? Excellent choice. Battery is the right answer. Matter is made up of tiny particles called dash. Well reasoned. Atoms is the correct choice. The metal disc of the electric cell is the dash. Good job. Your answer negative terminal works well here. Why do electricians wear gloves made of rubber? You're right. It is an insulator is the correct answer. How many terminals does an electric cell have? Exactly. 2 makes sense, and it is right choice. Electric current moves in only one direction. You chose false, and it is correct. All metals conduct electricity equally well. Solid response. False is a valid choice. What is the thing that glows inside he bulb?
You chose filament, and it is correct.
Which type of energy is stored in a battery? Excellent choice. Chemical energy is the right answer. How many terminals are there in a dry cell? Nice work. You chose 2, and it is correct. The filament of the bulb gets dash ats and dash. Right choice. Hot glows is the best answer. Which of the following is a good insulator? Solid response. Wood is a valid choice. Which object does not conduct electricity? You got it. Your choice wood is right. Which of the following is not a conductor? Sharp thinking. Wood is the right choice. The base of the cell is the dash terminal. Well done. Negative is the right choice, which does not belong in a closed circuit. Valid point. Plastic rope is true. Choose the best conductor of electricity. Right again. Silver is a valid answer. Electrical energy can make heat energy. Well reasoned. True is the correct choice. Was electricity discovered or invented? Good job. Your answer discovered works well here. Air is a good conductor of electricity. Perfect. False is the correct choice. Dash is used to cover electric wires. Strong choice. Rubber is the right answer. The base of an electric cell is its. Exactly. Negative terminal makes sense, and it is right choice. What breaks and completes a circuit? You're right. Switch is the correct answer. Energy can be created and destroyed. Great job. False is the accurate answer. Electric cell was first invented by? Correct. Alessandro Volta is the right answer. An electric bulb has dash terminals. Smart move. 2 is an accurate answer. Which is an example of an insulator? Correct response. Bakelite is the most accurate answer. Rubber is wrapped around wires for. Bravo. Insulation is the answer. In the open circuit, the bulb dash. Excellent. Does not glow is a brilliant choice. Are electrons present in our body? Smart pick. Yes is the correct choice. Electric wires are not made up of. Nicely done. Carbon is a solid answer. A switch is made of an insulator. On track. False is the correct answer. Filament of a bulb is made up of. Great thinking. Tungsten is the right choice. The lever on a toaster is a dash. Well picked. Switch is the correct answer. A dry cell is also known as dash. Nice selection. Primary cell is the correct and valid answer. A torch bulb has dash terminals. Clear logic. Your choice 2 is sound and 100% true. Which of these is an insulator? Good thinking. Wood is the right answer. A open circuit equal to current flows. Well reasoned. False is the correct choice. Which one is not an insulator? Smart move. Water is an accurate answer. What is the filament made of? You're right. Tungsten is the correct answer. Who invented the light bulb? Strong choice. Thomas Alva Edison is the right answer. Which of these is a conductor? Nice work. You chose salt solution and it is correct. What one is not a conductor? On track. Plastic is the correct answer. An example of a conductor is. Correct response. All of these is the most accurate answer. Metal cap in a cell acts as. Well picked. Positive terminal is the correct answer. A dry cell can be recharged. Smart pick. False is the correct choice. Filament is made up of dash. Great thinking. Tungsten is the right choice. Who discovered electricity? You got it. Your choice, Benjamin Franklin, is right. What are the types of cell? Well done. All of these is the right choice. What is a common dry cell? Good job. Your answer, zinc carbon, works well here. A bulb has two terminals. You chose true, and it is correct. An electric cell? Good thinking. Produces electricity is the right answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Right again. Contact Narayan Changdar on Facebook is a valid answer.